It's the Jeannette J. Show. Starring Buffalo's best-kept secret, Jeannette J.
Oh my God, I'm so honored. I'm going to cry.
What you're doing, when you do things like that, you're my idol, because that's incredible.
With co-host Richie Derwald. Stop the press. Here she is, the unstoppable Jeannette J.
We're here at Ilio Apollos restaurant in Blaisdell, New York, and we were just about to interview our guest here today, Dennis DiPaolo, and pre-television, he's telling us about this beautiful painting on the back wall. We decided to come in this room and film after we had this great meal. We had some pizza and pasta, say it again, pasta fazool.
Absolutely, you got it. The Italian wedding soup and holiday soup. Exactly.
Yeah.
And we thought we were off camera, but while we thought we were off camera, Dennis was alluding to this painting back here about his father. Tell us about your father, Dennis.
Well, this is a portrait of painted by Melina and Prish, both fellow paisans. Melina's Sicilian, but she's very good, talented. So it's a great.
Not
at all. Thank you, Rich. Thank you. But it's a beautiful people and great job. They painted my father's hometown of a picture I took when I was in Italy from the other mountain. And I gave her a 5x7 card. I said, I'd like to have this picture on this wall, and that's my father's hometown. With his house is right here, featured by the red door. And all the way down the piazza's in the center with the church, and then at the far end is where the other end of the town is. Actually the farthest building on the right, the little farmhouse. That's where we stayed at the La Trotta.
How I I want to back up for a minute with this gentleman. How I met Dennis was several years ago. It was my, I think, 53rd, 55th, we won't go there, birthday, and my godchild said, you know, he calls me Auntie Janet. He said, Auntie, you want to go to a great restaurant for your birthday? Go to Iliad Apollos restaurant. I said, okay, sounds cool. He said, they have great, great food. They're Italian restaurant, whatever. I walk in the door. I'm sitting up in the front at the booth, and I see all these world-famous look like wrestlers to me, Buffalo Bills, all kinds of sports things. People, and I said, what a great restaurant. Then I'm going to the ladies' room and I look on the wall and I go, oh my God, Bruno Sammartino, who is from Pittsburgh. I said, oh my God, who owns this restaurant? Yeah. Dennis comes over, introduces himself. I said, I'm Jeannette J. from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What is Bruno Sammartino doing on your wall? I mean, not literally on the wall, his picture. And Bruno and I did a television show in Pittsburgh together, many, many years ago. And they were very, very good friends. So I said, this is it, I'm coming back to this restaurant at least once a month. But anyways, he started telling me about his father, who is a legend in this town, and I had just moved back to Buffalo, where, of course, I was born and raised. We've become very, very close friends ever since.
We've been coming to this restaurant for years because that was the in place and still is the in place to go. Dennis, you are a blessing to everybody. I've seen you with people, I've seen you with Jeannette and how you treat people. You, your whole family is a blessing to just everybody who walks in here. And I just didn't want to forget. Now, I heard about you and the Italian festival. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, our family was honored this year by the Italian Festival Committee to be the Grand Chaminade of the Italian Festival, the Grand Marshal in American City. So, I mean, which was real nice. So, but we were very honored to be that part and to lead the parade and lead the way. But I tell you, the Italian heritage, and I always, you thank the Lord. I mean, thank God we're Italian, because it really, and it's so true, because it was something exactly. Yeah, but it was great, great experience, a great what they do over there, second largest in the country, right there on Hurdle Avenue, Little Italy, right? That we have. Fantastic. It was a great, even the rain couldn't even dampen the spirits that week.
But the one thing that I love about your food, the sauce. Tell us about the sauce. I have been coming here, I'm 41 now, I've honestly been coming here since I've been 8 years old, and the sauce is always fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. It's a Bruce style sauce, and it's a blend of the northern and southern right in there. The tomatoes along with the meat, the pork bones and everything to make it, the fresh vegetables off the farm, the tomatoes and all, and it's needless to say with the garlic and all, and it's a great sauce. It's a Bruce style, we always say, it's a Bruce, so very good blend.
I was in the store and I saw this package, and it actually had your sauce as well as other top products from the Buffalo area.
Here's his sauces. He's got a cookbook out. He's got spaghetti sauce. He's got dressing for salad sauce.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Bob from Made in Buffalo has gotten all of us independent great recipes from Christa Von Wagner's and all the people throughout Western New York, Weber's Mustard and the Chevette's dressings and stuff, and put us all together in a Made in Buffalo program, because through the years the people wanted stores and they wanted the sauce for at home, and that got really, there's always the old ragouts and those. So, but in Buffalo, what's our greatest asset besides the water we have? It's the food.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Needless to say, everybody throughout the world wants our food.
You can tell by the people on the street.
I am so stuffed.
What stores are they in? I've seen your sauce in Wegmans. Yep. What other stores?
It's in Tops, a big distributor. Market in the Square over there in West Seneca does a great job.
And you're on the website. I looked and checked your website out.
What website is that? How do you get there?
IlioDapollos.com.
I think one of the beauty about the beauties, there's so many about your place, is it's such a family organization. You walk in here and you feel so comfortable, and it almost feels like you're inviting people into your home.
Right.
I mean, how does that just come naturally? You make everybody so comfortable.
That's it. Just first thing is my father never hid behind a different name, just like Russ Salvatore and Iliad Apollos. That was their names. That's their family. So when people left, they talked about the family. Right. And that was the biggest thing. So my father always says, you got to treat people just like he was treated when he came to Western New York and brought into the homes and fed and made feel comfortable. And that's why we ended up living here, because of that same feeling. He wanted that to continue on into his restaurant.
You're very involved in the community, obviously, but I can see that you're still involved with the major pro wrestling stars. I mean, what I saw. If you just take a look on the wall here with Undertaker, The Rock, Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, Diamond Dallas Page, Buff Bagwell, Jimmy Hart, Disco Inferno, Triple H, and just the list goes on and on. If there are any big names in this town that come in to perform at the any huge event, a wrestling event, football, whatever sport, this is where they come, DiPaolo's. This tradition of all the wrestlers, if they're in town, they still go here. Yeah. Is that why they're here? Because of a tradition? Do you have any contact with them?
The wrestlers, I mean, there's always been that bond in the ring we always talk about.
Right.
And they never forget the old timers, and the young guys always appreciate Chris Jericho. These guys have been great. Hulk Hogan, the Nasty Boys, Diamond Dallas Page. I mean, all these guys that have through, they look back and appreciate what the old timers did for them, which is a big thing, because like even in football, not to be forgotten where football started, and they have their own agenda there. But the same thing in pro wrestling. So when they come to town, they call up, hey, can you? Not that they have the freedom to get out as much as they used to before,
no, not at
but
all.
Now that bring the food over, Dennis, and into the locker room, and they like to eat their pasta and stuff. But yeah, it's been a great time for them, and the wrestlers just really stick by my father's name and help out tremendously.
Tell us about the belt. It's gold and black, like the gold carpet. Get it? Matches our outfits. Iliad Apollos. What's it say?
Oh, it's a commemorative belt. And I believe this is a cauliflower ear. Do you know where they got that from?
This, you mean? Mm-hmm. Oh.
No. In the old days, the wrestling did really hard headlocks. It would actually hurt your ears.
And then you can't
hear.
And
they would become swollen. Cartilage would build up. In your ear would look like that, swollen.
Oh, I see. That's an ear up there. Oh, my gosh.
I had the opportunity to interview George. I don't know if you remember this, but we were both standing, and he choked me and then shoved cotton down my mouth. But
oh yeah, George the Animal. Watch out.
And you actually hosted that. It was like a Legends Day. Could you tell us a little bit about that? And is it ever going to happen again, ever?
Well, it was at the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, and we brought all the wrestlers back in here. And just last year, we had a night with the tough guys here, where we honored Dominic DeNucci came back.
Get out.
Yeah, absolutely. Dominic DeNucci and them. And next year, we're going to bring up Bruno to come up.
Awesome.
And,
for sure, Dennis.
So absolutely, because he wants to come back up again. So we did that in conjunction with Rob Ray with the fighting, and then the wrestling, and we had also the Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly, Steve Tasker, NFL showed their greatest hits in their fights. I mean, so we had a night with the tough guys, which was a really exceptional night. So Carmen Basilio was here, the middleweight champ of the world, and welterweight. So Carmen's
right here at the
Hall of Fame. Yep, and that's the night we were having. And we like to do that and kind of blend in the old with the new, and it was really an exciting night.
If you have not been to Ilio Apollos, you really have to come, not just because they're a great a family, but the sauce.
Yeah, loves the sauce, and thank you. And your dad, be sure to tell your dad, who was a great wrestler in himself in his own time too. So
thank you very
tell him
much.
we said hello and the best. Hope he's feeling good.
Right.
So exactly, there's a guy you ought to see his father. You talk about being in shape, and how old is he now?
He's 72, and he still works out 3 days a week, and pretty much he works out the same I do. We bench the same weight, curl the same weight, and he's in great shape.
He sure is. We'll be sure to give him our best.
I will.
And before I forget, Dennis, I was going to ask you, what's going on with the Buffalo Bills? They're having an incredible season. They just won 4 games in a row. And I remember last year we went and interviewed Marv Levy at the stadium. You were so hospitable. You brought everybody here. Marv Levy, Russ Salvatore came. Joyce
Nixon.
Joyce Nixon, thank you. Her husband was one of the players.
Jeff Nixon.
Jeff Nixon, very good, Richie. Boy, I'll tell you, I'm not bad with names today.
No, he knows.
But what is your association? Anything in particular with the Bills? I know they frequent your restaurant all the time.
You know, just that since 1965, my father opened. He's always been friends with the Bills, and always, and big guys like that love to eat. So my father said, "All right, Kumba, I'll feed you." And we've been doing that since.
What's in your future, Dennis? What are your future goals right now with the restaurant business, with sports? What are your plans for the future?
Oh, the next generation's coming in. I mean, my son, my niece and nephews. Ilio's got another year left of college, and he wants to do the business. I said, "Boy, I'm glad I make it look that easy." So it's like,
he does.
So it's like, but I mean, the next generation's coming in. So, but it's a great business, and there's always, you never know. Every day's a different day, and you know what?
Absolutely.
And especially in this business here, so you meet great people and get to enjoy the food. Right.
Anything else there, Richie?
All I want to say is it's always an honor and a pleasure, and thank you for all of your time, Dennis. Thank you so much.
Great job. Thank you.
Very
Jeannette,
much,
beautiful.
Dennis.
Great job as always. You're beautiful.
Thank you. So are you.
So thank you. Very good.
I'm Richie Derwald, along with, of course, who is this? Oh, that's right, it's Jeannette J.
It is?
And we've had a great show. I had a really good time.
Me too.
I stuttered. Is that good? You like that?
Absolutely perfect.
And we're looking forward to our next show. Thanks for watching.